One Piece spans over 25 years and 1,000 characters. I believe there's a single character in this epic manga that perfectly matches Andrew Tate.
You feel depressed. Gee, you're gonna spill my fucking coffee. You're ruining my Tate speech. Piss off.
That character is arguably the best villain in all of One Piece. The one and only Doflamingo.
What a dork!
First of all, his nickname is Joker, and we all know how entertaining Andrew can be.
I've had this argument with a feminist before. She's like, oh, well, we've never tried matriarchies. We've only tried patriarchies, blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, bitch. Yeah.
Doflamingo is a master manipulator. One of his abilities is literally controlling people with strings, of which he used to completely seize control over an entire kingdom. A kingdom he believed he was the rightful ruler of. And he did so with the acceptance of the kingdom's people. It's actually quite genius. Dressrosa was seen as a land bountiful of love, passion, and toys. The colours and vibrancy of Dressrosa only seemed nice at the surface. Beneath their outward appearance was a scene of tragedy. Anyone who opposed Doflamingo was turned into toy slaves, forced to operate his black market trades. Those who were turned into toys were forgotten by everyone who knew them, quite literally controlling a population without them ever knowing. Perhaps the same could be said about Andrew's businesses. Doflamingo was at the centre of weapons trade, human trafficking, and there was even a scene where it became clear that Dolphy coerced a beautiful woman to having sexual relationships. Oda is quoted saying the encounter was a very grown-up story, and for us grown-ups to use our imagination. Dressrosa is a land of passion, but for some people comparing Andrew Tate to a fictional story about pirates is solid enough evidence to declare him a convicted felon. For the rest of us who are actually thinking, it is not. With that said, let's leave the allegations aside and talk about the actual character Mr. Worldwide, Andrew Tate, would be. Somewhere in this poster is Andrew's perfect One Piece character, and we have to find him. Hey, don't look at me like that. You're kidding yourself if you thought Tate was going to be a girl. In fact, Andrew is the least girly thing since Red Sports Cars. Andrew likes to think of himself as Morpheus.
We are living inside of the Matrix, and I am Morpheus.
So it's a good thing we're talking about a story with an actual Matrix. One Piece is more than a goofy pirate comic, Liam. It's about the struggle for freedom in an oppressive and tyrannical world. 800 years ago, there was a great battle between the 20 united countries and an ancient kingdom. Those 20 countries won the war and formed the world government. Seated high above the seas in the Holy Land known as Marijois, the inhabitants became known as the Celestial Dragons, or the gods of the world. Within this castle is a throne room. Each sword placed in front is a pledge from each ruler that no one is allowed to sit in that throne, because we are all equal and this is a democracy. But there is one sword missing, and there is one ruler that sits in the throne. One Piece is what Game of Thrones could have been if it went for 25 years and was good. So it would be rather hypocritical if Morpheus was actually a secret leader of a corrupt world government. Now, I'm not saying Andrew is not a hypocrite, but he's definitely not on the same side as the Matrix he opposes, so we can eliminate anyone from the world government, including the Marines. Now we're just left with the current pirates, freest people on the seas. How can we narrow this down even more? Let's apply the top G filter. The pirate must be the leader of their crew, and they must have Conqueror's Haki. For you non-One Piece fans, Conqueror's Haki is a manifestation of one's extreme will. Our list has come down to just 5 characters now. Let's have a closer look at 2 of them. I know I made a lot of jokes so far in this video, but I feel as if Doflamingo is a little too one-sided, and there has to be a line somewhere for jokes, which is why I think it's downright disrespectful to compare Andrew Tate to Captain Useless Kid. If you don't get the joke, all you need to know is that Kid is a terrible character. Right, Morge? So it comes down to these 3. Our boy Luffy, Kaido, the strongest creature in the world, and the most hyped character in One Piece, Shanks. One Piece is also a story about following your dreams. The dreams of each of these characters is shrouded in some mystery. If we were to look at Andrew Tate in the most positive light, and had to guess what his dream is,
I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy.
my guess would be he wants to free men. Free from the Matrix by becoming rich, and free from themselves by being strong. If freedom is the goal, there was actually a character during the Great War in One Piece called the Warrior of Liberation. His name was Joy Boy. Joy Boy was said to be the warrior who would deliver people from suffering by making them laugh. Remember, Dr. Mingo's nickname was Joker, and one of the weapons he's traded was Smile Devil Fruits. And who did he sell Smile to? Kaido. Kaido wanted to be Joy Boy. He not only believed he could change the world, but he believed he was the only one who could change the world. So he went to Wano to become Joy Boy, but soon realized he could not live to the values of Joy Boy. The values he could live to was violence and strength. So he delivered Smile to the land of Wano. And with that, he brought laughter. But this was not joyful laughter that we've seen Luffy bring arc after arc. This was forced laughter. Laughter with extreme sorrow and suffering behind the facade. Rather than delivering people from suffering, Kaido brought suffering. Kaido exploited and impoverished the people of Wano. And because Kaido is the embodiment of strength, he would not allow himself to be vulnerable and accept his failings. Instead, he would drink alone in his cave and force himself to laugh. And that, dear friends, is why I believe if Andrew Tate was a One Piece character, he would be Kaido. Andrew Tate is an example of what it's like to live by different values than the values you claim to have. For example, Tate claims to bring joy to men. Meanwhile, he built his wealth by operating a cam girl website for lonely and desperate guys.
I had these 5 girlfriends in these 5 different cities all around the world. So I thought, well, are the girls an asset? So that was the plan. I was like, all right, cool. The girls are gonna be webcam girls. But they didn't have a fucking clue what to say. They were saying all the wrong shit, man. Make him think that if he's serious about you, that nothing else matters. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just famoosers. We were taking their money, all of it. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
Can we really say the laughter delivered to these men is genuine? Or are they two fake smiles, just like the smile fruits delivered to the desperate people of Wano? Or his materialistic views of success, which can be summarized by boobs and Bugattis, are things that seem enticing at the surface, but bring no real sense of fulfillment. Another example is Hustlers University, a program to help you escape the Matrix for a cheap price of $49.99 a month. According to CoffeeZilla, the program has nothing of substance, is operated off a Discord server, and the Joy Boy is nowhere to be seen. Instead, random coaches appear, showing you how to dropship. You have signed up to leave the Matrix, and have found yourself in another one.
Annoys a professor, doesn't renew their subscription, their card cancels, anything stupid, then you're going to regret it for a very long time, because there's simply nowhere else to go.
Just like how Kaido became the tyrannical ruler he wanted to dismantle.
Feel bad or no?
Fuck no. To give a solitary fuck.
It is possible Andrew, like Kaido, had altruistic intentions. There really isn't enough information to definitively say one way or the other. And while Andrew does advocate for hard work, discipline, responsibility,
I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard.
things that basically no one argues against, it does not correct for the actions previously mentioned. Kaido was the commander of the Beast Pirates, and whether he likes it or not, Andrew is the commander of the Manosphere or the Red Pill community. You have Tristan as king, Justin Waller and Sterling Cooper as the Toby Ropo. You have the gifters, or should I say grifters, like Aman, Fresh and Fit, Sneeko, Pearl, or whoever else is the flavour of the month. The Red Pill community is like the Beast Pirates. Kinda disappointing. There will not be many One Piece fans saying the strongest crew in the world lived up to the hype. The raid didn't fail after all. This crew prides himself on strength and violence. So do the Red Pill community, which is why every discussion seems to come back to the same examples.
Men were forced to go and fight and die horrible deaths and come back maimed.
You and your woman are asleep in bed upstairs. You hear someone break into the house downstairs. Who goes downstairs?
If someone breaks into the house, alright, nigga, run your shit!
But you know, when you only have one card in hand, there's only one card to play. To be fair, the Red Pill does get some things right, like looking at the dating market, as that, a market, establishing boundaries and basic self-improvement advice. But the rest seems like the common pitfalls we have already been through. For example, playing the blame game.
Like, women get more and more delusional.
Getting lost in the source.
Said, well, what color's your brigade?
Or when did it become cool to brag or lie like a teenager in the playground?
W in terms of having 3 women in one day.
You know, we're both triple digit notch count, he's in the quadruples.
The sad thing is, because these vulnerable men are desperate for some encouragement, some hope, they will swallow these fake smiles or red pills searching for someone to look up to, someone they believe has their back and will fight on their behalf. Overlooking men's problems are partly why we're in this messy situation. This is actually one of the positives of Andrew's rise to fame. He has given men's issues widespread attention.
Most men are basically invisible.
But to be the joy boy he claims to be, it's simply not enough to raise awareness. You have to reduce the suffering of these men. Since Andrew, like Kaido, have contributed to people's suffering through hypocritical business practices, both are failed joy boys. So the question becomes, who will be the true joy boy? You called? Bro, get out of here. If you're the joy boy, then the world has collapsed, and it's already too late for us.